full forwards. Rice should be able to deal with it and just watches that one go out of play. 18 years old, Declan Rice, and they are optimistic about his future. Gave him a taste of Premier League football at Turf Moor on the final day of last season. West Ham winning by 2-1. Really have to try and improve their form at London Stadium this year. Fans got a taste of what that stadium could be like, and they beat Tottenham to end their title chances at the start of May. It wasn't too often that we heard the noise like we did that night at the London Stadium last season. A lot of the fans still to really get on board with the move. You do wonder how much of a part it's played in bringing the likes of Joe Hart and Javier Hernandez to the club. Would they join West Ham? Are they still playing at Upton Park? Here's Masuaku again, making quick ground for West Ham. Font, who was just like Javier Hernandez involved in the Confederations Cup. His Portugal side eliminated on penalties in the semi-final. He says that he's very much looking forward to showing the supporters that he's worth every penny of that investment. Didn't enjoy his time at Werder Bremen. Marko Arnautovic spoke yesterday about his time at the club and said that he left them not in a good place, but felt that the fans did appreciate some of the moments that he gave them. Just beyond the midway point in this second half, West Ham still trailing by 1-0. A 12th minute strike from Johannes Eggestein. It's West Ham who have certainly had the better of the second half, but Zetra in the Werder goal hasn't had a great deal to do still. Of course, key attacking players for West Ham: Michail Antonio, Andy Carroll and Diafra Sakho, all not featuring today due to injury, and Javier Hernandez not quite there at the moment in terms of his fitness to feature either, although he is down on the West Ham bench watching on. He's joined down there by Manuel Lanzini as well. Do not expect to feature in the game tomorrow either. Still wrapping him in cotton wool a little. Key player for them. Premier League goals for Manuel Lanzini last season. He stepped up for them. Dimitri Payet left the club. Plenty of West Ham fans, although they were disappointed with the Payet situation and the way that that played out, knew that they had a player who could perhaps start to express himself even more. Payet gone. Manuel Lanzini certainly gave him some moments to remember last season. Now here's Robert Snodgrass. And there's to Obiang. Declan Rice strides through the field. Arnautovic, Masuaku, 22 to try and pick out in the middle. Ayew and Snodgrass in there. Makasi, Arnautovic. Can he make something happen for West Ham perhaps? Just looks to step inside and just turned into traffic really. Now Zabaleta. His touch just brings him inside. And Snodgrass gets it back from Zabaleta again. Just stands on the ball there, Pedro Obiang. Jose Font just turns and gets there before Eggestein. Pressure building from West Ham, but they still can't find an equalising goal. Zabaleta. Ayew, was he fouled? He thought so. Referee Tim Schwartz did not. 6 goals for Andre Ayew last season. Big money move from Swansea. Injured on his debut at Chelsea, and then it's taken a long time to recover and get himself back in the side. Now Arnautovic. Snodgrass was in space there, but he couldn't get the ball out of his feet quick enough there. Marko Arnautovic. Really interesting to see how he settles into life in London, Marko Arnautovic. He's had a reputation that precedes him a little. Jose Mourinho once claiming that he, despite his talents, had the mentality of a child. Mourinho, who coached him briefly at Inter Milan. Around the corner, couldn't quite link up with Arnautovic. One thing West Ham have done this summer, the players they brought in with considerable experience of the Premier League. Joe Hart, of course, champion with Manchester City, as was Pablo Zabaleta. Marko Arnautovic, time at Stoke. Of course, Javier Hernandez, plenty of goals for him during his time at Manchester United. Bilic tried to sign a couple of years ago when he first came to the club. Instead opting to join Bayer Leverkusen, but Bilic revealed this week that he rang him up to explain his decision at the time. He's delighted to have got him on board for the start of this season, and could prove to be a real shrewd piece of business as well. £16 million. Free kick there goes the way of Werder Bremen. Hansen, the man brought down. See the challenge again here. Ayew just clipping away at the ankles, and then Fernandez was in as well. Combination of challenges there. Good decision by the referee. Adrian, he's golden. Hasn't touched the ball, has he, in this second half? Himself into the Spanish squad towards the start of last season, Adrian, but it turned a little sour for him soon after. Dropped by Slaven Bilic, with Darren Randolph to look on for 22 successive games. To get him back into the side just before the end of the season. Some fine stops in the game you mentioned against Tottenham Hotspur, did Adrian. Hansen, all one, according to the referee. Now Font, still looking to just step things up here. Suaku. Andre Ayew. Just touch from him, just gets away. Clever clip over the advancing Zabaleta. Sees Garcia. 4 West Ham players around him there. Still managed to win the free kick. Sorry, win the throw-in. Beaten to it. He steps in once more. He's impressed so far this evening, Declan Rice, no doubt about that. You can see why they rate him so highly at West Ham. Obiang wins the header, down by Fernandez. pitch now almost entirely covered in shadow. Sunlight just over on that far side. Supporters over there shielding their eyes so they can see what's going on. Fernandez to Zabaleta. West Ham engineering some space here and an opportunity to attack down this near side, but it's poor from Snodgrass. Kept in by Font. Snodgrass again. Letter to Font. Werder sitting tight. Struggling to find a way through them at the moment. 13 minutes left to play here. Once again. Zabaleta again. Snodgrass again. Two players getting on the ball for West Ham, and it's having the same outcome time after time. Foul by Fernandez. Good play there. Augustine to win the free kick. I knew the challenge was on its way. So the coach is in discussion there. Throwing his hand up there in disappointment, but he's just drawn in. Plenty to ponder for Slaven Bilic, the man you see there. Does the side get to go again tomorrow? It's the same opposition. Snodgrass steps out the way. Augustine rolls it to his right. West Ham in danger here. Font reaches in. Adrian keeps it out. Could be a second. Adrian there once more. Werder could have doubled their lead and really should have done as well. Fine goalkeeping from Adrian. He really is so agile. Adrian bailed his side out there. Augustine rides the challenge. Found a way through Marko Arnautovic. As West Ham perhaps are pushing in search of an equaliser here tonight. Themselves caught out. He hasn't had too much to do in this game, Adrian, but he's made a couple of brilliant saves in either half. Fernandez. Zabaleta. West Ham seemingly favouring this right-hand side, but it isn't really bringing out reward for them. Biang steps in, wins the free kick, takes it quickly as well. West Ham looking to inject some pace into their play. Suhaki. Arnautovic with Declan Rice. Back out to Pablo Zabaleta. Snodgrass steps inside on his left foot. Decent ball in. Just missed by Makasi. It's much more dangerous, Robert Snodgrass, when he gets it onto that left foot. Whips it in. See the save here in a moment from Adrian. See Jose Font stepping in there. Werder Bremen, the future of Werder Bremen. Support looking on there. He has drawn a good crowd here today. Maybe more than Werder Bremen were expecting. Jones kick out to this near side. Well won by Zabaleta. Now Snodgrass, it breaks favourably for him. Andre Ayew makes his move ahead of him. Still Snodgrass, he goes down. Has to be a free kick. Looked like that might be the end result. The apology comes from Jesper Verle. He knew exactly what he was doing. Sniprush just taking his time here. He's feeling the effects of that challenge. He's in some pain as well. Here is that double stop from Adrian. Fine first save as Font went in with the challenge. One close to him, but he beats it away once more. Fernandez over this set piece. Declan Rice joining the crowd on the edge of the Werder area. Taken short. Zabaleta, can he find a cross? Whips it into the front post. Disappointing. Now Arnautovic, can he do better? Cut out easily once more. Familiar themes emerging here. The second half for West Ham. Now Masuaku, will he have any better luck? He beats the work the ball in. That's blocked easily as well. Mentioned a few times already, so many attacking players for West Ham not featuring today. Dimension to their game they would have had well Lanzini been fit enough to feature. Andy Carroll, Javier Hernandez, Diafra Sakho or Michail Antonio. They seem well loaded that part of the pitch once they get those players back. Of course, how reliant can you be on Carroll and Sakho? Many injury problems in their times at West Ham. Minutes remaining here. Schneiderdinger. Zabaleta. Hits it high, but not away. Font steps in. Powerful defensive work from him, but possession handed back to Werder. Well, don't keep many clean sheets, Werder Bremen, it must be said. Worst defence in the Bundesliga last season, worst defence in the Bundesliga for 2 of the last 3 seasons. Too much trouble dealing with West Ham so far. Arnautovic just gets away from him.
So, eine ganz wichtige Durchsage. Bitte betreten Sie nach Abpfiff und auch vor Abpfiff nicht das Spielfeld. Das ist ausdrücklich verboten. Die Spieler werden sich nach dem Spiel Zeit für Autogramme nehmen und an die Bank kommen.
Substitute players here today. There was an agreement apparently between the two clubs. Both making changes after 60 minutes. West Ham that did that.
Please do not go on the ground after the end of the match. Please stay in your area. The team will come to your area and will give you handshakes and signs. Thank you very much.
Taking their time here. Poor play from them, hands West Ham the throat. Zabaleta, much more urgency of course from West Ham. Here's Font. Now Declan Rice. Display from the West Ham youngster. Nathan Holland impressed in his time on the pitch as well. In this West Ham academy to bring through players once more. Of course, it seems to be harder these days to get players from the academy into the first team in the Premier League. Cut out. Cross by Arnautovic. Slaven Bilic now, hands on his hips. On the edge of the pitch. Now Font. Think about the shot, he gets one away. Disappointing. Resists the temptation there, Jose Font. It's the first pre-season that Slaven Bilic has had with no distractions in terms of Europa League qualification. His first season in charge of West Ham began so early. He attempted to make it into the Europa League through qualification. Based on the previous season's fair play record. Managed to make it through, and it's the same story again. This season falling to the same side. Astra of Romania. This time it's been all about preparing the first game of the Premier League season, which comes around in 16 days' time at Old Trafford, one of the toughest tests they could have had to begin the season. Robert Snodgrass finding delivery here to bring West Ham an equaliser. Whips it in, it goes deep this time. Well headed away. You can see he's going to get a full 90 minutes here today as well. He takes the throw. Arnautovic. Now Ayew. Just manages to toe it to Fernandez. Offside, flag goes up just as West Ham. The players preparing to attack a ball into the box. Piece of trickery there from Snodgrass to send Zabaleta away. Looks like West Ham to come back from behind. Midway point of this two-legged meeting between themselves and Werder Bremen. Don't have to wait long to try and turn it around. Sides will meet 4 o'clock local time tomorrow. Free kick here for Werder. Declan Rice penalised. No surprise. Werder taking as long as they can over this set piece into the final couple of minutes of this game. Committing too many numbers forward. Either the ball into the box, the header met. It just spins wide of Adrian's near post. Now Arnautovic. Easily cut out. Zabaleta demanding that ball. With Emilson Fernandez. Rice out to the far side to Masuaku. Hooked away on the edge of the box by Bargreda. Masuaku again. Just speedy player. Fires it in and it's met by Zetero as Ayew was looking to pounce. James Collins just making his way past us here in the commentary position, and he's got ice on his left calf, so another injury concern for West Ham as we see that header again. Jesper Verlat couldn't quite turn it inside Adrian's near post. Now Fernandez. Bilic again, up from his seat in the dugout. Snodgrass. Arnautovic drifting in field. Trying to instigate something for West Ham. We're into injury time now in this game. And West Ham create one more opportunity. Zabaleta plays it in. Arnautovic tried to get a touch onto it. Goes all the way through to Zetero. There is the full-time whistle. West Ham suffer their first defeat of pre-season. 1-0 here against Werder Bremen, who were on the back foot for much of the second half. Managed to hold for a raft of changes from West Ham after the interval, but they didn't create too many chances despite dominating possession. Of course, these sides will meet again as quickly as tomorrow. West Ham will hope they can turn this tie around. Werder Bremen, the only goal of the game coming all the way back in the 12th minute. Johannes Eggestein. Werder, good value for that lead at half-time, but West Ham showing they have plenty to offer as well, but just couldn't find an equaliser on the night. They'll hope to turn it around tomorrow. Werder Bremen win here by 1-0.